to today's webinar called The Modern Metal Buyer. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Have you ever found yourself wanting to buy metal with fewer steps, faster answers, and more confidence? Do you like a blend of in-person sales relationship with self-service tools? Are you expecting the Amazon-type customer experience even in your business transactions today? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you might be what we call a modern metal buyer. And it is with that vision that we built the latest version of Ryerson.com. So let's talk today about how this platform is stepping up to meet your expectations. Here I am as a logged in user on my account. You all, as Ryerson customers, have access to a Ryerson.com account. It's already set up. All you have to do is get your user ID and set up your password and log in. I'm going to show you how to do that close to the end of this webinar. But right now, we're going to talk about the needs of a modern metal buyer to be able to find material in various ways based on how they like to search, get information that they need access to, order items quickly, follow up with those orders, and do other things that will allow them to be customized and to do other things you need to do to make sure that it's easy to buy metal. So here we start with multiple ways to search for parts. The first way is to use this global search. You can search with generic terms like 304, 16 gauge by 48 by 120. It's going to search for your parts through all of the Ryerson parts, and it allows you, as it comes up, to see the options that fit with those parts. I'm going to choose this one and say that I'm interested in 5 pounds. But wait a minute, this sheet probably weighs more than that. So it rounds up right there for you, and then you can add to the cart. Other information that's in there are blogs, category information, stock list information, and locations that specialize in that item. We also have a search right in the middle of the page. This is for if you have your parts mapped with Ryerson, or if you know the Ryerson part numbers. Want to make sure that your part numbers are mapped to Ryerson part numbers to make it easier to search? Please reach out to your sales rep, or you can contact us at shop@ryerson.com, and we will work with you and your sales rep to go ahead and get those parts mapped. But I'm going to search for a part number that I know. When I search for a part number that I know, it pulls up that part, I click on it, it gives me the description, it tells me what the lead time is for that part. It also gives me a price based on the quantity and unit of measures that are shown. This is a suggested quantity because I haven't filled in my quantity yet. Oh, and wow, I have square feet, but I really prefer to purchase in pounds. So I'm going to change that unit of measure right here on the screen. And I'm going to say I need 1,000 pounds. When I put that in, it automatically recalculates my part. And if I wanted to see what the next weight price break is, in order to make sure that I'm making the metal purchase that I want to make and optimizing my value, I can click on the more you buy, the more you save, and I see those weight price breaks. So wow, if I order 2,000, I can get to the next weight price break. Well, I will need more of this material in the next few days, so I'm going to go ahead and bump my order up to 2,000 pounds. Again, right here on your search screen, it's going to update your lead time and your price, and then you can add to the cart. I've shown you 2 ways to just simply search for parts, but there are ways that you can get through our catalog as well to make sure that you are searching for metal the way that you like. So I'm going to start with I'd like to browse. When I click on this, I can search by product, shape, or industry. We're going to start with product, and I really need some steel sheet. So I'm going to come here. Sheet is already selected. Notice the icons and the categories, and then I select the grade and size. With this guided view, the first thing I get is levels of information, including popular grades, characteristics, popular applications. I can then click on general references and get information like Brinell hardness and other PDFs. I can also see material properties as well. It's great to have that information here in my view, but if I no longer need to see it, I simply collapse that and go straight to searching for my items. Oh wow, I can also here on the screen select the shipping address that I'm interested in, but I think I'm going to leave that main one up there right here in my catalog. Now in this guided view, it shows you that we have 543 items available for steel sheet. So the first thing I'm going to do is select my grade. I can go in any order that I'd like, but for me, grade is most important right now. And then I'm going to look for my gauge, my width, and my length. And ta-da, it's narrowed it down. So for the sheet that I looked for, it told me that not only does Ryerson have it, but if I order 540 pounds, I can get it for $7.29 a square foot. I think I need 1,000 pounds, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And again, the more you buy, the more you save is right here, as well as it will update your product pricing here on the screen. And I can add that to my cart. There are 3 other views that are also at the top of the screen: list view and table view. You can simply go from guided view to list view by clicking on these buttons. However, if you're a person that says, oof, I really like to see more information before I make a decision on the metal, well, use our mega menu at the top of the screen. Here I'm going to go find some stainless steel sheet. So once I click on stainless, it gives me category information. And as I hover over the items, it gives me even more information about the product form and shape that I'm looking for. So if I was looking for a flat bar, for example, it tells me about characteristics and popular applications and grades for flat bar. Versus if I was looking for sheet, it gives me a different level of information. So I clicked on sheet and here I am. And again, that information at the top of the screen is there for me to be able to learn more about the metal. However, I'm ready to make some selections. Wow, Ryerson has over 400 parts in stainless steel sheet alone. How do I make a decision? Well, one of the things that I want to do as a modern metal buyer is just simply find the items that I've purchased before from Ryerson. Well, that's easy. I click on this recently purchased checkbox and it tells me that, hey, I've purchased 4 items before, and it also marks those items with a star. So I can see, compare, and make a quick and easy decision. Notice here on the screen, not only does it have a description and the attributes broken out, as well as a representative image, but it also has lead times, the ability to check inventory, put in my quantity. I can still click on the price and see the weight price breaks, and do other things like add to cart or add to shopping list. But what happens if you don't have a purchasing history with Ryerson in that particular product group? You simply go ahead and use your filters. Click on the primary grade. Not sure about the differences between grades? Hover on the question mark to get information about that particular grade. Well, if I really don't care about the difference between 304, 304 dual certified, or 304L, I can just type in the grades generically that I want to look for. Then I can narrow down and pick a gauge. And then again, based on the priority for what I'm looking for, continue to narrow down and look for parts. I'm not too particular about my length, but I do know I need a 2B finish, and I do know I need some vinyl protection. Black and white is fine. It narrowed it down for me to 1 item. All right, so I can go ahead and put in my quantity. But what happens if I want to compare more than 1 item? So let's go ahead and clear this protection filter. And now I have lots of items that I'd like to compare. Well, I can look on the screen and look at each one of these items, or I can click on Table View. Table View allows me to compare multiple items at once. Want to see all of the information? Just collapse your filters, and you can collapse the items as well. And now I can quickly compare and see what's the difference in pricing, what's the difference in lead time, and make a decision that's best for my business. Oh, here's the part that I really want. It's within the guidelines that I need. It's at a reasonable price compared to the other items, and it's available in 2 days. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a quantity, but I'm going to change and say for this, I really need pieces and I want my price per piece. So I need 5 pieces and it's going to update my price for me. And again, I can click on the price and see the breaks, but I just want to add it to my cart. So 2 ways to search, 3 different catalog views based on your quick and easy needs, and the ability to change your delivery options right here on the screen in the catalog. Now that I've shown you that, let's go to the cart. I have items in my cart, and right now I can easily see that, hey, this item is available, and oh, wow, I can add more information. If I had a part number or a job number that I wanted to add to the customer reference field, I could do that and it would print out all my paperwork. If I wanted to add notes to my sales rep for them to review the order, I can do that here as well. If I wanted a different purchase order for each line, I can add that. I can also request domestic material. This is simply a request. Your sales rep would have to review to make sure that there's domestic material available. We can also check inventory details and even more. I'm reviewing my cart now and everything looks good, but there's some material dates that I really would like to change. What do I do about that? Well, I can do a few things. First, I'm going to collapse this to make it easier for you to see all my items. Secondly, I'm going to go ahead and say, oof, I really don't want this coming in on the 22nd. That Tuesday, we have some things going on. I prefer to have this one item come in on the 24th. And it did that. So notice my date changed to the 24th. But what happens if I want to change all the dates at one time? Then I click here in this dark gray area and select delivery dates for everything in the cart. It tells me that if I want everything to come in at one time, the first date that all the items can come in is on April 30th. I can go ahead and select that date for all the items to come in on that date, or I can pick a different date. I'm going to say, hey, can we bring that in on May 1st and apply that date? That allows me to change all my delivery dates at the same time. So I've put in instructions, things to print off, a different line level PO for this one item to be able to separate that job out in my paperwork. I've put in my delivery requirements and I'm going to go check out. Well, I could express checkout, which will jump me straight to the end, but I'm going to go to proceed to checkout to make sure that I'm comfortable with all the steps. So notice, because I had already looked at my shipping location and made a determination, it just jumps down. However, if you wanted to change your shipping location once you got to this stage, you could by clicking Edit. Next are my delivery requirements. Oh boy. I want to make sure that they know that we are closed on Fridays and on Wednesdays. We are only open until 1:30 p.m. So I'm going to go ahead and make that change here for my order. And then I have different options to pay. I have terms with Ryerson, so I'm going to use that. But I also have the option to pay with a credit card, an e-check, or PayPal. I'm going to just confirm the payment that I already had. If I forgot what items or I needed to make sure that the items are in the cart, I can simply click this hover view and then review them. I'm going to move forward to proceed to review. At this point, I'm in my cart, I'm ready to check out. If I forgot to type in any information, I can still do that here on this checkout screen. But right now, I'm going to put in my purchase order and I'm going to say big order. I'm going to agree to the terms and conditions of sale and place the order. Once I do that, I get an acknowledgement on my screen saying that the order has been placed. I also get an email saying that the system has received the order and a final email once the order has been released for the production floor. All right, Now you know how to place an order, find metal really quickly and easily. The next step we're going to do is go ahead and look at what happens if I just really want to do this much faster, right? I don't want to search for items. I don't want to do parts. I have an Excel spreadsheet that I'd really like to use in order to upload my items. Well, you can use bulk upload. So I'm here in an empty shopping cart. I click on bulk upload. In the past, before we update it, you had to use our template, and it's still available for you to use. However, if you had a spreadsheet that you're getting from your system and you just wanted to drop and drag it, you could, or click to select. I'm going to simply drop and drag that spreadsheet here on my screen. I upload it, and it automatically tries to match my headers to my parts. Now, I've done this before, so it already shows it. But if something changed and I needed to make a determination, or it couldn't match one of my fields, I can simply tell it to map to my different fields. So for instance, customer ref, that's what I call ref on my spreadsheet. Okay. Let's say I really want my line level PO to be here, and I really don't have any notes for my sales rep, so I'm just going to make that select. And wow, this is fast and great, but I don't want to have to do this again in the future. So if I use the same spreadsheet template over and over again, then I can save the fields for future mapping and map those fields. It's processing your file. And just like that, 10 items are ready to be added to your cart. Let's go ahead and add those 10 items. It uploads those parts, gives you a delivery date, and then prices those items right away. Well, let's say I had a spreadsheet and it didn't go exactly as I planned because not all the items were mapped out clearly. So I'm going to go ahead and upload my items, 20 items. And notice it held on to my part headers because it recognized them. I didn't have to remap them. And let's map those fields. Oh, I had 4 items that needed correction. Let's see here. The first one says this quantity unit of measure is not valid. Oh yeah, this is a sheet. So really, this should be in pieces. And then for this item, I had put in 1 pound, but really a full sheet is 120, or excuse me, 1 square foot, but really 1 sheet is 120 square feet. Same thing for this item. And for this item, multiple parts were found. So let's go ahead and type in that field for it to offer me different part options. This is the one I want. A36, grade 50, 2x2x1/4 angle by 20 foot. And I select it. Then I tell it to process these corrections and try again. Okay. It processed those corrections, but it also told me, hey, now I need to round up because that was not a full quantity. And for this one, I really want pounds. Let's process those corrections again. And the errors have been resolved. One more time. So again, it walks you through any error correction one at a time until you're ready to go, or you could have deleted those if you wanted to move forward. And now I'm going to add these 12 items to my cart. Here I have a cart of 22 items. They came back, already gave me a delivery date, and it's going to provide a price quickly. And if I wanted to quickly check out because nothing is changing, I can go ahead and click Express Checkout, put in my purchase order number, review everything quickly, and move forward. Let's go back to the home page. So I've ordered quickly. I'm a modern metal buyer. I can upload my Excel spreadsheet. I can find my metals quickly. But what happens after I place the order? Well, I can track my order really easily. When you first come to this screen, you see all orders, whether they were submitted, invoiced, etc. But what if you only wanted to see your open orders? Well, you click on the Open Orders tab and scroll down, and you can see here's my order. There's my big order, PO, But wait a minute, did I put in that line level PO that I wanted? Yes, I did. It shows right here on my screen in my items. If I wanted to see more information or less information, again, I can expand and collapse. And it tells me all of them are coming in one shipment. And I can see any other new orders that I have available on my screen. What about any shipped orders? Well, if I wanted to see an invoiced order or a shipped order, I can come here and I can change the status. So let's say I just want to see everything that's invoiced. Yep, those orders are invoiced. If an order is invoiced or shipped, you simply go into that order and there you can see the details of the order. You would also be able to click on any test report links for any items that had test reports available. The other thing I want you to notice is that we track the order. So once the order is entered, it's confirmed. When it's been released to the production order floor to be worked, then it's in process and it moves forward. Once it's loaded on a truck, it's shipped. And this bubble changes as well. And finally, once it's confirmed being received, it's invoiced and this bubble is filled in. So I no longer have to worry, did that order deliver today? Well, yep, it got shipped and arrived at 1:32 p.m. and then it got invoiced. So I'm great to go. Well, now I got to think about paying the invoice. As a modern metal buyer, sometimes you wear multiple hats. It includes paying for the orders. So click on invoices. Here you can see any invoices on your screen that you owe. If you have any past due invoices, you can look at your invoices, whether they're paid or unpaid. On the screen, we automatically show you unpaid. If you wanted to search for paid, you can change the invoice type here on your screen. For this order, I want to see what was specifically on this invoice. So I click on the invoice number. It opens up my invoice and gives me all of my details regarding the items. Oh yeah, I ordered some stainless steel round bar, some 17-4, and some aluminum tread plate as well. I ordered many different things from Ryerson. So therefore, I am good on this order and now I'm ready to pay my invoice. I click the pay invoice button. Yes, I'd actually like to pay this item in full. It's not due until the 27th, but I think I'm going to go ahead and pay it in full. I continue to payment. I either add a credit card, or in this instance, I had previously saved a credit card. I could also pay by e-check or PayPal. I confirm my payment. It says, hey, this is how much you're going to owe, and I pay my invoice. Once I pay my invoice, it will show me on an acknowledgement screen that my invoice is paid, and I will also get an email acknowledgement as well. The next thing you may wonder is, how in the world did I save my credit card? Well, it's all in how you set up your account. So we're going to go to account settings, and then I have two more things that I'd love to show you. First thing, here you can check your default settings. So notice my cart kept expanding and collapsing because I preferred the expanded view. But now, you know what? I'm used to using the website. I'd like to see everything collapsed. I want it streamlined and I want to be able to see multiple items at one time. Also, yeah, I no longer purchase sheet in square feet. I prefer to purchase that in pounds. I can change my default units of measure and then save both of those. The other things that I can do to make sure that it is my customized experience as a modern metal buyer, I need to move fast. If I need to add a shipping address, no longer need to contact my sales rep for them to add it, for it to take a couple days. I can just add my new address here. The other thing that I can do is I can edit address. I can also add payment types as well. So I can say for my orders, the default I want to do is pay via terms, which it is. But for my invoices, I want to pay via, PayPal or ACH, e-check, or credit card. Or I want to add a new credit card to be safe to my account going forward so I don't have to go and find that credit card information every single time. I can add a new credit card. I can even add a bank account, whether it's checking or savings, and there's a security, so it's making sure that I go through different fields to understand that my things are secure and I should be able to move forward very quickly. Then that payment window pops up, and I can put in my checking or savings account. It's saved in a secure fashion, and then I can decide whether or not I want to set it as the default for my orders and invoices. The other things that I can do to ensure a smooth transition and make it easy for myself and for my team is not have to worry about when the order is coming in by telling the system I'd like to receive a notification for every time an order is coming. So whether it's me or I want that notification to go to somebody else, I simply put in their first name, last name, and email, and then save. I can also let my teammates know if I've placed an order as well, so we don't duplicate our orders by signing them up for an order acknowledgement copy here on the screen. And don't forget to click Save. All right, so now I'm customized. I know how to quickly find metal as a metal buyer. I know how to go about it the way that I want to find metal, the way that I want, place an order fast and easy, upload to Excel. But every once in a while, I like to talk to my sales rep and catch up and have those conversations. Well, I can click on quotes. And in quotes, I can see not only the quotes that I created, but any quote that my sales rep created for me. And if it was expired, I can update that quote simply by clicking in that quote. And if you're able to update the quote, it will show you, hey, this quote is valid, expired, etc. And there's a requote button. But if you're ready to just simply check out for the quote that either you created, one of your teammates created, or your sales rep created, then you simply proceed to checkout. You could have done that from the other page as well. Here, you can review your items, collapse again, and you can add those same fields, whether it's a job or part number, some notes to your sales rep, a line level PO, request domestic, or change your future delivery date. In this instance, I'm simply going to put in my PO. And I'm going to place my order after I agree to terms and conditions of sale. Great. It's going to confirm my order on the screen and tell me my order has been placed. When searching for lots of items, Ryerson has over 70,000, and sometimes I just like to create my own customized list. So I can go to shopping list and I can add parts to this shopping list. Here, this is all my parts that I regularly buy, so it's in my own list that I can share with others or others can share with me. Kim, who's a person on my production floor that goes ahead and lets me know what metals we need for the day or for the week, can also create shopping lists and share them with me for me to be able to purchase or investigate. In this instance, I'm going to go to all my parts and look at my customized catalog that I've created or my sales rep helped me to create and look at these parts. And great, they're all there. They're pretty much in the order that I like them, except for, nope, there's a stainless item and it's mixed in with the carbon items and I don't like that. Well, you drag your part up and all of a sudden it gets reset and saved in the order that you'd like it to be saved in. But now also I can click on the items that I'm interested in and I can either add to cart, add to a quote, or just view the price and lead time for the items that I am interested in. So notice here, it tells me my lead time, my quantity, my price, my extended price, the total for the cart, and I continue on by saving it to a quote or adding the products to a cart or even downloading it to Excel, all making it easy for me to continue to use my customized list however I like. Whether I'm using it as a job shop, quoting different jobs and labeling those jobs, I'm using it for a customized catalog, or somebody on the plant floor is using their mobile phone or tablet to create requirements for me as the buyer to be able to purchase. Because as a modern metal buyer, I have to do lots of different things. All right, fantastic. We've reviewed a lot of critical functionality to help you make it easy to make it have fewer steps, faster answers, more confidence, be able to still communicate with people, as well as use self-service tools. And you know what? What if you do have a question after all of this? Well, you can chat with our chat team. They're available 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. You can also talk to your rep. How do I know who my rep is? Well, there are a few different ways. I can scroll down on the screen and it'll show me my sales representatives right there on the screen. The other things that I can do is I can simply email shop@ryerson.com. So you're supported by more than just your sales rep. You're supported by your sales rep, you're supported by the chat team, and you're supported by the customer service team for the website at shop@ryerson.com. You've learned a lot of great information here. While myself and my teammate take a few questions from this webinar, which we're not going to record at this time. But if you are watching this on a replay, I still want you to stick around because there's two more things that we definitely want you to know in order to enhance your metal buying experience. Welcome back. Thanks for those fantastic questions. Lots of questions about what about pricing? What about information? Well, the things that you want to know are available for you by coming and listening to Cup of Joe, a metal podcast. It occurs the first Thursday of each month at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The next one is coming up on May 1st. You don't want to miss it. If you wanted to register for Cup of Joe, you can go ahead and copy down the Zoom link where you can listen to or watch wherever you get your podcast, or you can scan the QR code on the right-hand side of your screen underneath the cup, and that will take you to register for Cup of Joe. Well, if you're listening to this after May 1st, what happens? Do you have to wait till the next month in order to catch it? What if you want to know what's happening now and it's May 2nd? Well, guess what? You go back to our website, you go to Metal Resources, you click on Metal Market Intelligence, where there's all kinds of information based on the different product groups. There's metal market updates that talk about pricing, etc. Lots of critical information. There's also previous episodes of Cup of Joe. So if you happen to miss the last one, you click on View Episodes and you can see what's going on in the metals world. Also, things that are critically important right now are things like what's happening with tariffs, what's happening with different metal applications. They're there for you as well. So don't forget to register for Cup of Joe. And if you happen to miss it, go ahead and click on View Episodes, and it will take you to those previous episodes of Cup of Joe and get a little bit more metal education about what's happening in markets with different grades, etc. We hope that you had a fantastic time visiting with us at Ryerson.com, that we've answered those questions that we talked about at the beginning of this regarding what it takes to be a modern metal buyer and how to make things easier, more streamlined, and more helpful to you. Have a wonderful day.